Iamaleava will hand it off to Dylan Sampson. It's Iowa in the bowl game. He picked up 7. They go to him again, and he's right near a first down. He has a 1st and 10, and he'll hand it off again to Sampson, who's got daylight inside the 30, running behind.
Find a way to stop in the red zone.
Now it's back to Sampson, and he doesn't have much. And he'll hand to Sampson again, and Dylan gets down in course on this first drive, and Vols have their first 3rd down. 3rd and 4. There's a shovel pass caught by Sampson, and somehow
trying to get a free first.
He does hand it to Sampson, and Sampson moves the pile.
Excited to have him back in the backfield.
And give it to him again real quickly. Touchdown, Volunteers.
Getting ready for the next level. When it comes to the iPads, that's been interesting to watch so far too.
Head to Sampson. Dylan breaks it. 1st and goal, Volunteers. Virginia Tech and Nashville at halftime. Over here in Knoxville, it's the Nico Iamaleava show. He's been sensational. He throws to Dylan Sampson. A little screen pass out of the backfield.
For him to get more reps, use him in the passing game.
And now hand it to him on the next play. And he breaks free. 60 yards rushing. As he leaves the backfield on this 2nd and 9. They throw it to him. And Dylan with the run after the kick.
You see the safety. It's on the opposite hash on that throw.
Sampson pays it off. Touchdown, Tennessee. Back home next week. Go to Alabama in a couple of weeks. Also to Kentucky. And there goes Dylan Sampson again. Tennessee's off to the races. A game 1. And Sampson gives the Vols a 1st and goal. Wamba prevented the touchdown. But Sampson gets the ball back on the next play and goes in.
He was a stud volleyball player. Tennessee opens on the ground. They give the ball to
long strides, just outrun it.
Snap it quickly. Sampson finds a hole on the right side. And now Tennessee can get moving because they're inside the Wolfpack 25. Sampson looking for room and none to be found in the backfield. A host of Wolfpack counsel.
And they back out of the blitz.
Only 3 rushing, shuffle pass underneath. What a call from Heupel. Sampson has it. Dylan Sampson slips a tackle and bowls his way down in the 1st quarter. Sampson has it again. He'll push
game. So he's used to seeing Tony Gibson.
This time Heupel gets the better of it, and Sampson goes into the checkerboard from 9 yards out. Volunteers scored last time they have it. Back to the ground with the man who scored the touchdown, Dylan Sampson.
Fits to him, and it's a great job by Ketzelman to slide out.
Back to the ground. Sampson spinning into NC State territory.
In these 2 positions.
Dylan Sampson. Sampson inside the 40. Well, he's done a really nice
to get a stop. You just know they want a touchdown on this drive.
Sampson picks up the 1st down.
It's Fitzgerald.
Keep it on the ground. Sampson turns the corner and crashes down to the 25 for his injury history. Just an outstanding linebacker they're trying to replace. Shovel pass, and this time they keep it on the ground, and Sampson will be
yet hit those big plays. He had the one down the left sideline, but that was about it. They've been running the ball.
Dylan Sampson is on the pickup. NC State had 1 drive with a few explosive plays. That's been the biggest difference. Tennessee's been able to rip off chunks of yardage just like that. How defensive coordinator Tony Gibson in his career has had success against his style of offense. But right now it's Tennessee having
a lot to deal with.
Back to the ground again.
Balanced attack.
Heard a transfer from LSU. We know those 2 great tackles that the Bayou Bengals have. And this time, it is North Carolina State winning the battle, leading this Tennessee offense. Done a good job running it. Sampson's been a tough runner all night. And Dylan, who's getting up
at quarterback for Tennessee.
Sampson finds some room. They've got some program.
It's a big one for Bielema.
15-yard penalty against NC State moved the ball out to the 40 after. Folks in red have Well, okay, we'll come back and live to fight another day. They've got Louisiana Tech next week. At any rate, it's 3rd and 12. Shovel pass. And this time Sampson breaks the tackle. He's got the first down. He's in NC State territory, and he powers down to about all over the place. We asked him about that this week. He goes, just keep those at home now. Yeah. Well, what he's going to do is get Tennessee home by giving it to Dylan Sampson and give number 6.
He's throwing it to your guy. Ball placement is throwing it away from the defense, and he does that as good as anybody in college football.
They go with the screen. They love it. And that's Dylan Sampson. That more surgeries, painful rehab, and hard work to get back on the field. Straight ahead. First down. Plenty more. Dylan Sampson.
In front of us, let them take the short throws all night.
And they'll go off tackle this time with Dylan Sampson. And he's into the checkerboard. Touchdown, Tennessee from 22 yards. Is on target again. Straight ahead. Sampson bottled up. Iamaleava out of the shotgun. Sampson straight ahead again. Miles Kitselman on the left side of that line. Straight ahead. Sampson gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Sampson's second of the night. Plenty of kickoffs for Tennessee tonight. Already up 30-0 and a huge hole up the middle for Dylan Sampson. That's
Depth.
Yeah, Davis played right tackle first couple of games, a product out of Sullivan East. Spin move after the hit for Dylan Sampson. Straight ahead, Sampson churns
In the perimeter screens, you can't win.
Sampson bouncing off defenders. And they'll run it straight ahead. Sampson's got his third.
Outside the bowl game and last week at NC State.
Straight ahead. Here's that run game again. Dylan Sampson pass. Run game has been massive for Tennessee tonight on this third down. 3rd and 3. Well, maybe we'll get to the end zone. Another touchdown for Dylan Sampson.
With that kind of length.
Makes it 3rd and 2, and they feed Dylan Sampson is off to a great. Sampson wants to pick his way, and they're all on. Feed Dylan Sampson, who is knocked down.
Use offense in check.
It's a first down run. It's been a quiet night so far for Dylan. See if his counterpart Iamaleava can make them pay. Sampson has had very little room to run.
They strike downfield.
Sampson, spin move, and he moves inside the 40. Want to get farther behind. And first down, Sampson. He likes that spin move, and that's why he's been. Sampson this time met
Up on the board.
and a hammer away with Sampson. But his short gain, it'll set up. Iamaleava on the pitch. Sampson knocked down, but
Blitz off to his right with that corner.
Sampson again breaks a tackle. Dylan Sampson into the secondary and down to the 1 as
Was shaking off that would-be tackler by Sampson.
spins freeze. Dutchman tried to grab him in the backfield. They do stop him just short of the goal line. Now is it a late signal on the far side? So one official start to signal touchdown.
Move that he is becoming well known for, spins out of that, and then the leg drive keeps his body up and scores a touchdown. The last two.
Matty's been workmanlike and efficient and handed the ball off a lot in the Tennessee ground game.
One run calls for 71 yards.
Sampson's got it again. He was the man on that drive, carried it. Handed off to Sampson inside. He spins again. Sampson again, this time met in the back. Crowd trying to come back into it, help this OU defense. Hand off inside.
LSU.
Sampson stopped behind the line.
Spread you from sideline to sideline.
And bursting through a crease, and Sampson that's
I was shocked.
Malava hands off inside.
Starters, the corners, nickel, a couple safeties. They just keep getting better with every game and every rep they get.
Player. And his dad is on the sideline. Ken is watching this game, and Josh plays his cards very close.
And he's been focused on getting his team ready, but you know, you get to the end of that.
Instead of picking up 15, it's 1st and 15, and a handoff inside to Dylan Sampson. You certainly saw that in Norman. Sampson, you can play good defense.
Give up anything underneath, but nothing downfield.
Clock winding down. They just get it off before the end of the first quarter. And
Yards.
3rd down handoff, bursting to the middle. Sampson first down, and he's seen, but he's got 2 already. Backed up 2nd and 15. Handoff inside. And Sampson powers back near the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to... 6 men is hard to do in college football these days. And here's a 3rd down handoff, and they're all over it. Sampson spun and knocked down.
All 3 of those timeouts.
And they try Sampson. Yards here, 15 to 18 to really make it a realistic attempt. 3-man rush gives him a lot of time. Nico scanning and now checks it down. Catch made. Sampson trying to spin free, still going. Fight.
Stacked up heavy on the right side.
Sampson knocked down, but not. Only 2 Arkansas players with a hand in the dirt on this 3rd down. They try to run for it and breaking free. Dylan Sampson in a foot race. Dragged down inside the 5. Get a chance to give Sampson a breather. 2 tight end look. They hand it to him right up the middle. Dylan Sampson, touchdown Tennessee. And snap it at 4. It's Sampson. Burst forward for about 3. Sampson's got it. Another crease. Dylan Sampson shows his
Side along with the right guard Spraggins.
Arkansas barely lined up, and Sampson bursts and falls into the end zone for a 2nd touchdown tonight. Those Vans, Jeff Spicoli look, and you thought no shot.
No shot.
Meanwhile, Tennessee feeding Sampson here. Good news. Nichols made those snaps. Maybe Jesus happened to a 6'6" guy and not a 6'1" guy, because they were definitely up.
Yep.
Handoff inside.
Oh.
This is where Tennessee has excelled in the last 2+ years. A handoff inside. They secure this game or build the lead. Sampson very patiently picks his way behind blocks, and this 3rd and 7. Sampson's got it, and he's going to be knocked down short.
Jalen Green.
Haven't had a takeaway yet tonight. Dylan Sampson secures the ball. Conservative. 3 receivers stacked to the right. Got to hurry. The play clock at 1, and they hand it off inside and knocked down.
They worked on it hard in practice. Speaking of fast, that is exactly the way they play.
For them, run game and rushing the passer.
They try it again with Sampson. And this time,
nice execution.
they keep it up tempo. Breaking a tackle to Sampson. Speed to the edge. Dives. Gave the Gators a chance maybe to catch their breath. Breaking tackles. Boy, it's tough to bring down.
That renewed confidence in the defensive side of the ball for the Florida Gators.
In for a crease is Dylan Sampson.
They need to play better tonight.
Going down inside the 5-yard line. Fight.
Key to the game for them. Win the line of scrimmage.
And they're going to run it again and play conservative. The crowd.
For the tight end leading around the edge. Maybe we see more of that here tonight.
And Sampson.
Show up in this game early.
Try a straight ahead dive.
As he talked about that, let's see how he starts here in the 2nd half.
Sampson to midfield.
Boy, football.
They give it to him again. Spin cycle. And then he gets racked up at the
Rise.
Balls are 2 for 7 on 3rd down. A rollout. Pass in the flat. Sampson's going nowhere. With at-large bids on the line. the resume building possibilities. Holden stays in motion.
The field to work with, running some nice route combinations, easy completions.
Right up the middle goes Sampson.
We want to go fast.
Jump cut. And it looks
They're going to keep Nico out on the perimeter with those half-field reads where he's a threat to run the football. Athletic ability.
swing pass. One-on-one tackle broken by Sampson. Inside the
body balance, back up at the line again.
Another try for Sampson. Crab calls.
The big bodies in. You got the two tight ends, got a lineman in the backfield.
Sampson. First down. Endzone. Touchdown.
What can he do with it now? Can he exercise great decision making, move his team down the field?
A little check down, deflected at ball. Now they run it. Patiently hoping for a little crease.
Man, it is survival of the fittest in the SEC every single Saturday.
Dylan Sampson breaks free. Pass call. Touchdown.
Third down for them. They got to come up with a good call.
Tennessee is 3 for 12 on third down. They're going to try and run for it. And they're not going to get anywhere.
Just every moment of these games in the SEC mean everything to these teams.
They're going to try and run it here. And getting dragged down.
Hope he can get back on the field as soon as possible. Whatever that may be.
A non-contact injury. As up the middle on a dive, back to go. So they're just going to run the football here. And barring a miracle run by Dylan Sampson, we're going to overtime. And that is where we are headed.
Second guy going for the strip. Do everything you can to turn this over.
They run it right up the middle. And it looks to be good enough for a first down for Dylan Sampson. Getting a push. Sampson with a push. A pile up inside the 2-yard line. I think they marked him short. Crowd reacting as it's a touchdown. Sampson.
Way down, and the sacks have been a huge issue. They like to go quickly. Quarterback. 6'6", 215-pounder is Iamaleava. On the run, Dylan Sampson. The ball comes out at the end of the run. Alabama saying they have it. His career.
Keon Sabb, a great tackle there, and as looks like Sampson spinning out, Malachi Moore is able to grab it. He's been accurate so far today.
8 drops now for Squirrel White. Didn't extend the second hand trying.
It's super important there on the edges of the defense.
Can Tennessee get anything done in the first half? Nico is the third eldest of 8. He gave it. Nico told us yesterday he's just committed to play at UCLA. Out of Long Beach Poly, Nico throws as he was getting taken to the ground. Apparently was backward, scooped up and advanced past the marker by. And it was Justin Jefferson making the tackle. I think his knee's down, the ball still in his hand. At Arkansas, none last week against Florida. They rallied back to win in overtime. Dylan Sampson back on the field, just still down just 7-0. Man moving with now under 5 minutes to go in the half. Sampson again in trouble and stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Now Iamaleava suffered a left hip injury in the first half. He said he doesn't think that's affecting him.
Dylan on the right hip, both Nico Iamaleava. Sampson straight ahead and a first down.
Nico had nowhere to go.
2nd and 6. Sampson, good bounce outside, has a hole. Sampson down the sideline and out of bounds.
He hit 23, just impressive speed there.
Here he comes again. Holden stays. Holden stays, transfer from Notre Dame. Here's Dylan Sampson. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Correct, and that is a substitution. So they should have been able to match up. So I understand why he's upset.
Dylan Sampson went for 8 on the first play. And he's over 100 yards rushing again. And get ready. To the end zone. Touchdown! Dylan Sampson again.
And I think now Nico's factor as well.
Running out of time and a low throw. Both from 53 yards. One of those today. Dylan Sampson, should he be called upon? Sampson again.
Stay committed to it.
Sampson patiently waiting for something to emerge. Spread you out sideline to sideline, really to run the ball. Sampson again. You're going.
So Pam has got to stop the run here to give their offense another chance.
Dylan Sampson has taken charge here. He had 35 at the half. But he also had 6 carries at the half. He now has 23 for the. Sampson more. Oklahoma is fading fast. Sampson wrapped up. A first down and it's ball game over. In all reality, and they don't get there. Good job by the
best running backs in all of college football. Dylan Sampson with him. And Sampson shuffles his way. Brew is without a touchdown this season. I was shocked when I realized that. Sampson straight ahead. And Dylan Sampson motor.
Defenders hate to see him in the hole.
Sampson.
Linemen, they got pushed around. They got to play with a little more violence, a little more effort tonight.
Corner blitz coming in. And Sampson wrestled down with the third down pick. Backwards pass to Dylan Sampson. So this will count as a run. And Sampson tight ropes the sideline at both spots. Squirrel wide in motion. Dylan Sampson pinballs his way to a gain of about 4 on first down. Kentucky says the ball came out. Cats end up with it. There is a flag on the play. So couldn't get his beanbag, and indeed they motion that there is no flag on the play. Main question is whether or not he was down.
Yeah. There's your tester. Pick up 20. Now you push the tempo. See if you can't get into field goal range.
Imaliava checks it down. That is a first down.
Yeah, he doesn't love it, does he?
First down on the connection to Nimrod.
Well, but Kitzelman's really been that guy for this offense today, getting drives going quite frequently already tonight.
Imaliava off track.
Still searching for those explosives is this offense.
Into half clock execution. Not good for Tennessee. Here's Sampson. He gets upended. Ray Halsley, the offensive coordinator for Tennessee, just going pedal to the metal this half. There goes Sampson. Spins away. Spins again. And a first down run. 1929, the Bristol Blizzard. Sampson patiently waits for that one to open up.
And right now it's the space at the line of scrimmage. Take those short throws.
Well, go to Sampson. Sampson's got blockers. Handoff. Bounce to the outside. And touchdown, Dylan Sampson from 7 yards out. And he has tied the Tennessee single-season rush record. Had their own 10 for Nico Iamaleava. Sampson checked down from behind. Another short field. Sampson, the running back, looking for his school record.
Right in the coverage void to Stays.
Here's Sampson. Found a gap. Takes it to the logo. And then a couple more.
Nico, and he almost got there. That's where you worry about that ball, too.
And here goes Sampson. Stutter step and a change of direction and a first down. Extend the lead. It's about midway through the fourth quarter. Sampson bottled up.
Thornton initially on a curl route, but follows his quarterback to the sideline. Great effort.
Kicking game had been consistent prior to tonight. Sampson, 29. Here's Sampson. Bottled up. Pushing the pile. That is a rugby scrum. Everybody showing to the line, and he'll share the record with 10 others who pushed him across. In Kentucky territory. And Dylan Sampson, man, just muscles is moments away from putting the finishing touches on this one. Dylan Sampson straight ahead, first down, and getting back on track to try and motivate this team that was riddled with injuries. Might be too much to overcome, but they didn't play.
To see 3 interceptions again today. That's his 3rd game this year with 3 interceptions. They struggled early with with Florida.
In a big way as well. They had the opening loss to Notre Dame. Here's Sampson again.
Doing that this year. And with Tennessee taking over on the 45, Sampson gets the first touch. And he's into Mississippi State territory in 2015 when he won the Heisman. And here's Sampson again, a first down. And really trying to improve upon for this offense. 10th career start for Nico. Hands it off to Sampson. And he picks up. On 3rd and 7, they'll keep it on the ground with Sampson. Sampson on first down. Good run. Out. Sampson again. Straight ahead. First down and more. Sampson. Big hole again. It closes at about the 18-yard line. Strength. Here he is again, waiting for a hole to open. On 4th down on the first drive. And Sampson tripped up, but able to get the first down. 6th SEC start, 3-time freshman of the week. That ties the school record at Tennessee. And the ball is out as Sampson got hit and fumbled it. This would be his 3rd straight game with a lost fumble.
Takes it in for a huge takeaway for Mississippi State.
And Dusty, you saw Sampson back out there after the fumble, and he only gets 1. Hey, Matt, you're not kidding, though. The Big 12 right now?
Wide open.
Let's see what happens with BYU later tonight against you. Sampson running it, trying to find a hole. It's not there. Bottled in. Nico had a defender right in his face. Looked like he dropped the arm angle. Sampson trying to get the edge. Run out of play. Sampson, nothing there. 22. Run play, Sampson got the edge, but a nice Alabama. Exactly the same. 2nd and 4. Sampson again. Heupel and company.
Got the 2 tight ends in and love to run it right at the middle.
And Sampson pushed back right at the line to gain.
As he operates here with 1:40 left on the clock.
Sampson, pocket drags him down in the backfield for a loss of 1. A defensive line for Mississippi State playing much better as we've got an injured volunteer. That's Dylan Sampson. Oh, man. Sampson dragged down by Suleiman Paka. Good news is he's up, and he is walking off the field. Got 2 touchdown passes, 2 picks on the season, including here against Alabama. Sampson, who was back. Sampson on the pitch, breaks a tackle. Between 2 players after that last play, but no flag. Sampson on the carry with room. And down he goes, snapping it to Moore here on 3rd down. And a swing pass, Sampson, and he's dropped. Most of those came in the first quarter. About 2/3 of them. Here he is here. Looked pretty healthy there. Past the 30 and closing in on 1,100 rushing yards on the season. It'll be Sampson again. Straight ahead.
And after the first half this season, they're going to ride him here this drive.
And another Sampson touch. Running downhill.
So fast here to take this down to 1.
And Thornton out of the game, as you saw, with an injury. Here's Sampson on the cutback inside the 20. Sampson busts it loose into the end zone. Touchdown. Line of Mississippi State. Feels like now or never for the Bulldog defense, but they can't get the stop there. 2-point conversions, but they got to stop the run first. They have not been able to here in the fourth quarter. Play clock winding down, and it's Sampson again, able to get positive yards.
Ground here, Dave.
They do with Sampson. He's hit in the backfield for a loss.
Offense, Jalon Walker, 11 is outstanding, and an inside 93. Ingram Dawkins got to be a difference. In the ground, get lined up. You see confusion there with Chambliss.
Yeah, they try the middle, still going is Sampson. And
they're getting lined up, and they eventually did, but this is just determination from Sampson. Spin move to get away from that, bounces off the safety jack. Now very well. Again, great quick decision with accuracy.
Sampson plows ahead now. Second and goal. Sampson on the end around, tries to cut it back, still running and powering down to the one.
Rev up their engine tonight with that similar pass rush.
Sampson.
And Nico did a good job of not looking that way to tip it. Deal, and then as soon as he gets the snap, boom, picks up the first.
And throw again, pump fake. Cross the middle is off the hands. It was a fastball.
Third downs, the job they're doing against this defense of Georgia.
Sampson running hard.
Not working. They've been really cold. They just gave them the heat from the running backs part.
Come on, wait a minute, Laura, 55 degrees? Come on. Eighth carry for Sampson, stutter steps, and shows some power. Running backs, Derrick Henry has the conference record. Sampson still 8 away from that. And their 2 fourth-down tries. Sampson cannot be denied. Final 2 minutes of this first half. Sampson's got it. He's got a crease. Dylan Sampson to the house. It's Tennessee back on top. What? Sampson off the left side. First down and much more.
Receivers, sideline to sideline.
Sampson, meanwhile, right up the middle.
Against Alabama with the pressure on. Opportunity to do it here now in Athens. Let's see they respond.
First down run. That is.
And Nico believes in what he can do.
There's a throw to the flat. Catch made by Sampson. Sidesteps one tackler. Couple tight ends. Sampson running behind all that. Nice little run game wrinkle.
Decision to keep it inside or bounce it.
There's another first down run.
It took some time for that one to develop.
The throw.
The crown from Georgia. Not going to be handed to him. 6 again.
And 6 is going to get Joe. 2 touchdowns behind of the Volunteers. This 2nd and 5 from their 43. Short throw and big hit.
Tackles for loss. Does not have the interception there. Now it's to the ground for the Vols and going with Dylan. Sampson is hit at the line of scrimmage.
To impress the committee, you don't want to press too much.
Sampson.
Defensive side of the ball, converting at a 45% conversion rate currently.
What time? And that
with so far.
Best DB in America in terms of getting into the backfield. Back to the ground. This is the bread and butter. Nico to throw, looking back to Sampson, who was not featured in the passing game very much.
Sense of intentionality to how the Vols have to play. He said we have to turn the knob up today.
Has made the most of his opportunities and helped keeping his offense where they need to be at.
Nico back to the go-to man. Dylan sit-down rate 104 in the FBS. Sampson on the ground. It's an SEC history. One more, and he will match Leonard Fournette, and he does. It's touchdown number 22 on the season, and he breaks the score record.
If Dylan Sampson has a chance to leave his mark in this game again.
Sampson showing the patience to cut back, nearly got it. The flag is just let him have it. Number 14 overall draft prospect, according to Kuiper. Sampson lowering the shoulder.
All cylinders to finish off the second quarter and the first half.
And Sampson will open up with a carry, breaks through one ankle tackle, and takes it.
Keep game in open field. That might need to be worked on a little bit by Nico. But
Dylan Sampson's turn, churning program like this for that long. For a lot of people that have grown up around Tennessee football, you are the voice of moments like this. Sampson bouncing outside, cutting back inside, still fighting to the
football. Tennessee starting on its 17-yard line. Nico Iamaleava, the quarterback, handing off, and Sampson is wrestled to the ground. Georgia not well early on at Arkansas. The numbers out of conference much better, as you would imagine. Sampson off the right side makes it to the 25. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. The ball came out, and Vanderbilt saying they have it. They do. A fumble recovery by the Commodores.
DJ Taylor come in and rip this football out. Excellent job. As he's being held up, he just yanks at that football, rips it away from Cedric Alexander.
They go back to Dylan Sampson, who lost a fumble on the last play, and then he breaks a tackle here. Stays in bounds before being wrapped up. Iamaleava to throw in 2nd and 15. Out in space to Sampson, wrapped up and dropped on the last possession. Now the Vols take over near midfield. And here's Sampson running left, making the first defender miss. One of those was a lost fumble. He'll get it here, running to the left. He's last year, 9 this year. And looking for 10. And on 1st down, Dylan Sampson. Tennessee has all of its timeouts. Sampson, the ball carrier. And he spins away from a defender and runs Sampson on 1st down.
What we've seen this year.
New set of downs for Tennessee inside the 40. They're going to keep it on the ground with Sampson. He gets stood up and pushed back. In danger of watching their lead disappear here late in the first half with Nico back to throw. Now on the move, throws it downfield, and it's incomplete behind Sampson. Last week against UTEP. 9-2 record. Trying to get to win number 10 is Sampson.
In zone spacing, specifically on 3rd down, he mentioned, but he said the message to his team is let's go win this game, and they really want to rely on the leadership of...
In terms of overall losses in the SEC. Dylan Sampson on 1st down is Tennessee.
Nice pickup.
1st down, Sampson. Ripped 5 minutes into the game. Sampson, 1st down.
Throw the football, he's going to give it.
Give it here to Sampson. And Sampson knowing what's probably ahead in a few weeks, potentially. I mean, what if you get a road freshman from Long Beach? His brother Madden is a top high school quarterback prospect and is headed to UCLA. Sampson to the...
When it was very cold.
Sampson again, trying to keep that streak alive of rushing touchdowns. And play 9 of the drive, taking about 5.5 minutes off the clock. And Sampson's 2nd effort got the 1st down.
Hat on that here with Tennessee. And when they get to 200, they win.
Here's Sampson, the crowd sensing it. They want him.
This offense and this football team.
6th in the country in carries. This is number 251 and will not result in a touchdown. Unreal. Given how Michigan had played this, that may impact whether they get in at all. Wow. Sampson taken down. They would have gotten an at-large normally. They're going to keep it on the ground and easily get the 1st down with Dylan Sampson. Tennessee going to take as much time off the play clock before snapping it. Sampson up the middle, another broken tackle. And into Vanderbilt. Somebody else out by getting the automatic bid. Miami loses first. Sampson again. Inside the 40. And close to another 1st down. Now you got Squirrel White down. Sampson is hurt too.